Hello and welcome to this week's podcast episode on the Citizens Podcast with me, your host, James Risley. This is a new and exciting podcast all about Manchester City and their previous matches, and we shall discuss things such as player performances, decisions made throughout the game that can be controversial, other exciting things such as goals and assists, and how the match goes for Manchester City. I will be inviting in my guest on today's podcast episode, who is called Albert Risley, lifelong Manchester City fan. He will be expressing his views on who he personally believes played the best in this game that we will be discussing, and which player played the worst. I hope you will enjoy today's episode, as we will be discussing things that you may also have an opinion on throughout this episode, so please feel free to let us know how you viewed the game. This episode will be a great way for you to develop your understanding of how a Manchester City fan will view a game, and showing a contrast in younger minds and older minds, such as my interviewee, who is turning 82 today, as he has watched football all of his life. Will Manchester City win the Premier League this year?
No, I think it'll be the great Manchester United.
Yes.
Nah, I'd say Manchester United will.
I think City will win the league.
Yes, they have a good chance. I think the great Aston Villa are going to win the league this year.
Right, now let's begin. What did you think of Manchester City's overall performance throughout the game?
Very good. First half particularly, second half average, very average. And this has been happening week after week.
Yeah, right, well, the next question. Who do you think had the best performance for Manchester City against Fulham?
I think probably the young lad.
Nico O'Reilly.
I don't know, did he get man of the match? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he did. And who do you think that played the worst?
I think possibly the right back. Nunes.
Oh yeah.
Not particularly good last night, though. He's having a good season though.
Were there any decisions throughout the game that you didn't agree with from the referee?
No, I think he had a good game. I don't know who he was.
Paul Tierney.
Something obviously happened at the far end, with us being at one end of the ground. Something happened at the far end, if you remember.
Yeah.
Fulham weren't happy about the third goal, I think.
Do you think Pep's starting 11 was appropriate for the difficulty of the game?
Yeah, you can't pick and choose really. There's not many teams in the Premier League that can think we're going to beat these easy. Perhaps Burnley and maybe Wolves at the moment, you should win. But anyone else can give you a game.
Yeah, you can. Did you have a favourite goal? I reckon O'Reilly's goal.
Yeah.
First time finish it was.
Yeah, it was. They're all good goals when they go in. Again, far end. If your eyes are not what they used to, I like to have a look up on the screen and all and see, did I really see it like that?
So, do you reckon City's opponent played well?
I've seen Fulham. They played United, I think, only a week or so ago, and they're very unlucky not to win that. And they can be a dangerous team. I think he took a guy off, Wilson. I like him as a player. He didn't have a particularly good match last night. You can't start putting reserve players on in the Premier League. You've got to be at it all the time. 3-0, he made sure Haaland was alright. But he's going to get a good rest. He's going to get 10 days now. He won't play him against Salford, that's for sure.
Now, let's get on to the feature of this podcast. Now let's take a moment for a series of key facts about Manchester City to learn more about how this club was formed and became how it is to this day. The roots of Manchester City trace back to 1880 when it was established as St Mark's by a group of local church members in Manchester. Initially, the team played a series of friendly matches and was not in any league. In 1894, the club adopted the name Manchester City and joined the Football League, marking the beginning of its competitive journey. They have won many major trophies, such as winning the Champions League in 2023 and having won 8 Premier League titles and many other honours. This football club has achieved so much with the help of people such as the greatest manager of the past decade, Pep Guardiola, leading to Manchester City's great success over the years. Manchester City have had some world-class players over the years, such as Sergio Aguero, the club's all-time top goal scorer, and the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Vincent Kompany and David Silva, who are all statues outside of the home of this great football club. the Etihad Stadium. This has led to Manchester City's dominant success over the past years, and it has been great to watch as a lifelong Manchester City fan. It is such a privilege to watch this great club, and we should cherish these moments as they may not last forever. Now, that's it for this short series of facts. Let's get back to my interviewee, Albert, as he discusses more about his favourite football club. Do you think this result will help Manchester City in the race for the Premier League
Of course, 3 points are always welcome. Arsenal got a tough game.
tonight?
Hope they drop a couple.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Brentford are doing well. They're 7th in the league.
Yeah.
What do you think went badly for Manchester City, even though they won 3-0?
Second half generally, it's almost as if they're not fit, to keep the level that they played to in the first half, to keep that up. And it's happening too often. They seem to be blowing, don't they? And it's mainly a defensive game for half the match.
I feel like when we made the subs, nothing happened. We didn't look like we could create anything at all. We were looking nervy at the back.
One or two that he brought on, I don't think have got it. They all say how good Cherky is. And I don't know.
No, he's not that good.
It's frustrating, you can see that there's an attack building. You hold on to it and then play a 5-yard pass back.
Yeah.
He did it a lot. It's slowing him up.
Like, Fulham looked quite open at the back end, and it's just a waste. Do you think the result of the game was fair, or did Fulham deserve anything out of it?
Yeah, they deserved a goal. I'm not saying they deserved either a draw or a win, but it was a better second half by them. But overall, yeah, the better team won.
What do you think made the difference between the two teams?
Quality of players. You look at both the teams and the standard of players, international players that are there. Their manager must be good to get them to play at that level without any major signings.
Well, they've just signed Oscar Bob from us.
Yeah.
He came on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he didn't do much, did he?
No, he kept losing it to Ignore.
And
He played well. Do you think Manchester City's game plan was appropriate?
Again, keep going back to it. First 45 minutes, yeah. And why we don't then try and pile on the goals? Yeah.
No.
The goal
Difference.
Goal difference with Arsenal is they're in favour by 2, I think, at the minute. Could have at least levelled that.
Yeah, and they've got a game in hand, so
Yeah.
we need to be scoring the goals, so keep up.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there was a standout player for Fulham against us?
I thought that fullback, right back,
Tete, number
was
2.
it? He had a real good going with O'Reilly in midfield,
Yeah.
but I thought he had a good game generally.
I think he was doing well against Mamouche, to be honest.
Yeah, he did now, did he?
I don't think any of the subs did. Thank you for your time, Albert. That brings us to the full-time whistle on this episode of the Citizens Podcast. With me, your host, James Risley. A commanding 3-0 win for Manchester City over Fulham at the Etihad Stadium on Wednesday the 11th February 2026. And what a professional, polished performance it was. From the first whistle to the last, City looked in control. The movement was sharp. The pressing was relentless, and when the chances came, they were taken with real authority. This wasn't just about the scoreline, it was about a statement. Tonight, we've broken down on the key tactical battles, the moments that shifted momentum, and the individual performances that stood out. We've talked about the discipline in midfield, the composure at the back, and the cutting edge in front of goal that ultimately made the difference. These are the kinds of performances that build belief, not just in the squad, but in the fans watching every pass, every press, and every goal. 3-0 result at home is always satisfying, but it's the manner of victory that will please the manager and supporters alike. Clean sheet, 3 goals, 3 points. No drama, just control. And at this stage of the season, just consistency is absolutely crucial. As always, we want to hear from you. What was your standout moment? Who gets your man of the match? And how big could this result be in the bigger picture of the campaign? Get involved with us on social media and send in your thoughts and keep the conversation going. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a match reaction or analysis show. Share the podcast with your fellow City fans, leave us a rating and help us continue building this incredible community of supporters. Thank you for listening. We'll be back soon with more analysis, more debate and more passion as the season rolls on. But until then, from all of us here at the Citizens Podcast, stay loud, stay proud, and as always, come on City.